Hi everyone. Today's topic is the perineum. It's an important theory question for the exams, and it's also the important clinical oriented topic. So we will start with this perineum. Perineum, what is the definition? Includes all structures which occupy the pelvic outlet below the pelvic diaphragm. So this is the important definition. Below the pelvic diaphragm, perineum. Above that is pelvis. So pelvic diaphragm separates the pelvis and the perineum. So you have learned so many diaphragms in the body. So this thoracoabdominal diaphragm separates the thorax and the abdomen. Between the abdomen and pelvis there is no diaphragm. Now between the pelvis and the perineum, pelvic diaphragm. So divisions of the perineum. Before divisions, if you see the perineum, it is a diamond shaped space, presents the following boundaries. In front you see, what is that? Lower border of the pubic symphysis and arcuate pubic ligament. Behind, tip of the coccyx. Anterolaterally, ischiopubic ramus, it is marked as IPR, ischiopubic ramus, and ischial tuberosities, IT. Posterolaterally, you are seeing some ligament. It's the sacrotuberous ligaments covered by the gluteus maximum. So this is the boundary of the pelvic outlet. If you divide this pelvic outlet by an imaginary horizontal line joining the anterior ends of the both ischial tuberosities, then we have two triangles. Urogenital triangle in front, that is UG, it is given in the picture, and anal triangle behind. So in this class we will see mainly the anal triangle, and we will see the urogenital triangle in the some other class. Anal triangle. What are the structures in the anal triangle? If you see from front to behind, perineal body. This perineal body in female is sometimes considered as the gynecological perineum. It is the important structure which is important for the obstetricians in the labor in the labor process. So this is called as gynecological perineum. Next to perineal body, anal orifice surrounded by the sphincter ani externus muscle. Then anococcygeal raphe. On each side of the anal orifice, if you see, facial lined, there is a wedge shaped space. That is the important topic of today's class, ischiorectal fossa. So on each side of the anal orifice, it is present. So these are the structures from front to behind in the anal triangle. You see perineal body, from that anal triangle. Then anal orifice. Then between the anal orifice and the coccyx will be the anococcygeal raphe. If you dissect the skin on either side of the anal orifice, on either side of the anal canal, this space is present. This fossa is present. That fossa is the ischiorectal fossa. A space on each side of the anal canal. That is the definition of this. But it is called as ischiorectal. So this is a misnomer. It should be called as ischioanal fossa properly. Exact situation is between the inferior surface of the pelvic diaphragm and the pelvic surface of the ischium on the sides. It is wedge shape with the apex directed above. Lateral wall is vertical and medial wall slopes downwards and medially. It is filled with fat so that it acts as the elastic cushion to allow the expansion of the anal canal during defecation. So can you see in this image? In the middle we have the rectum and the anal canal. Levator ani muscle is the pelvic diaphragm. So this space is below the pelvic diaphragm, that means below the levator ani, on either sides of the ischium. So that is the situation we saw. And you see it is filled with fat, yellow color it is given. That's why it allows us acts as the elastic cushion. So I think you should have now understood this wedge-shaped shape of the ischiorectal fossa also. Here the skin is removed so that we enter on either side of the anal canal ischiorectal fossa. Measurements: vertical 5 cm, anteroposterior 5 cm, transverse 2.5 cm. What are the boundaries of this ischiorectal fossa? Same diagram. Laterally you see obturator internus muscle covered by the obturator fascia. So that is also the ischial tuberosity. Medially, medial wall is sloping, lateral wall is vertical. Medially, levator ani muscle. That levator ani is covered by the anal fascia and by the sphincter ani externus muscle. Apex is the fusion of these two fascia. What is the two fascia? Levator ani is covered by anal fascia, obturator internus is covered by obturator fascia. So that is the apex. Base is the skin of that region. So how you have to visualize this fossa in the bony pelvis is, you have to put a paper as a pelvic outlet, as a paper inside the pelvis as the pelvic diaphragm. Then you have to see the space in between this paper and the ischial tuberosity. That is the situation of the ischiorectal fossa. So this is how the ischiorectal fossa will be dissected in the cadavers on either side of the anal canal. Yes, in front is what triangle? That is the urogenital triangle. So that is the muscles in the urogenital triangle. Transverse perineal superficialis and profundus muscles separated by the perineal membrane. Behind is the boundary of the pelvic outlet, that is the sacrotuberous ligament. So recesses of this ischiorectal fossa, it extends further, that is called recesses. Anterior recess, it extends. What is anterior to this triangle? Urogenital triangle. So there is a pouch in the urogenital triangle, that is the deep perineal pouch. So this ischiorectal fossa extends above the deep perineal pouch, that is called anterior recess. So it is in between the pelvic diaphragm and the urogenital diaphragm. Urogenital diaphragm is present in the deep perineal pouch. So this extension is called anterior recess. So I think in this you can understand. So what is this part is the urogenital triangle. So urogenital triangle contains the urogenital diaphragm. Are you seeing? So that is the urogenital diaphragm. Above the urogenital diaphragm, that space is the anterior recess of the ischiorectal fossa. Posterior recess, each fossa presents backward extension to the side of the coccyx between the sacrotuberous and the sacrospinous ligaments. So this fossa has a fascia. That fascia is the lunate fascia. What is this lunate fascia is? It is lining this fossa, deepest part of the fossa. Laterally it covers, what is that fascia is? Obturator fascia. so that it forms the medial wall of the pudendal canal and blends with the periosteum of the ischial tuberosity. Medially, it covers the anal fascia and blends with the later at the line of the Hilton's line. So, it is the fascia in this fossa. So, naturally, it will cover on two sides what are present. What are present? Obturator fascia and anal fascia. So, this is the good diagram. You have to see in that lunate fascia, it is covering on the sides obturator fascia and the anal fascia. Anal fascia is present medially and obturator fascia is present laterally. So this in the lateral wall of the ischiorectal fossa, pudendal canal is present. So this may be asked as short notes for you. Alcock's canal. What is this is? It's a fascial tunnel in the lateral wall of the fossa. About 2.5 centimeter above the ischial tuberosity is the exact surface marking of this fossa. This fossa is extending from lesser sciatic foramen to the posterior limit of the deep perineal pouch. That is the extent. So, are you seeing in this lateral wall of the ischiorectal fossa, there is a canal called as pudendal canal. So, how this canal is formed, they are telling by three ways. Formed either by the splitting of the obturator fascia. Obturator fascia is in the lateral wall, so it has split. Or by between the lunate and the obturator fascia. Or by the splitting of the perianal fascia. Contents, now only we told, pudendal canal extends from lesser sciatic spine. So, what are the structures passing through the lesser sciatic foramen? Pinch structures. So, they will pass from here to the deep perineal pouch. That is the way to remember. Pinch structures means pudendal nerve, internal pudendal artery, internal pudendal vein and pudendal nerve. These three structures. So, internal pudendal vessels, pudendal nerve and dorsal nerve of penis or clitoris. Internal pudendal vein, that is artery and vein, perineal nerve. So, this lunate fascia divides this fossa into three parts: suprategmental space, ischiorectal space and perianal space. So, this is the subdivision of the ischiorectal fossa. That is above this apex of the lunate fascia is the suprategmental space. Apex of the lunate fascia is called tegmentum. So, above this is the suprategmental space. Then ischiorectal space is bounded above by the lunate fascia, below by the perianal fascia. This is filled with fat. So, you see this picture, there is a lunate fascia and the apex is called as the tegmentum. Above that is called suprategmental space. Below that is called as the ischioanal space. Third space is the perianal space between the perianal fascia and the skin, perianal skin. This is subdivided into numerous compartments by the fibroelastic septa and contains loculated fat. So, lastly, contents of the ischiorectal fossa, internal pudendal vessels and pudendal nerve in the pudendal canal, and apart from this, inferior rectal nerves. They have to pass through this fossa to reach the rectum and anal canal. And also the posterior scrotal vessels and nerves or the labial, perineal branch of the fourth sacral nerve and perforating branches of the second and third sacral nerves and a pad of fat. So these are the nerves, it is nicely given in this picture: posterior scrotal nerve, perineal branch of the posterior femoral cutaneous nerve. They are traversing through the fossa to reach the scrotum and the rectum. So same again the nerves which are passing in this ischiorectal fossa. Also the inferior rectal artery is also shown in this picture. Applied anatomy of the ischiorectal fossa is this failure of origin of levator ani from the obturator fascia. So if there is no pelvic diaphragm in this above this fossa, that is called hiatus of Schwalbe. So that herniation of the pelvic contents into the ischiorectal fossa. So this ischiorectal fossa is having the fat which is fibrous and poor blood supply, that will cause the ischiorectal abscess. Abscess in the perianal space, severe pain that will burst into the perianal skin. Abscess in the ischiorectal space bursts into the anal canal, causing fistula in ano. That is very difficult to treat. Abscess from the one fossa may spread to the other behind the anal canal through the recesses, and it will be called as horseshoe shaped abscess. So in this class we have seen in detail the definition of the perineum, divisions of the perineum and structures in the anal triangle, and main topic of the ischiorectal fossa, situation of ischiorectal fossa, shape, measurements, boundaries. Then we have seen the lunate fascia in detail and recesses of the fossa. After that, divisions of the ischiorectal fossa, contents of the ischiorectal fossa, pudendal canal also we saw in detail. And lastly, what is the importance of this ischiorectal fossa? And this is an important topic in this perineum. Okay, with the next class in the urogenital triangle, we will see.